Hi everyone, how are you doing today? I hope you got plans for this weekend. It's just right around the corner now, so have a great time no matter what you do. So, what we're going to do today is go over some of the things that I've been doing. And one of the best things was I had my best friend and her husband come out here from Arizona to visit. And we had a wonderful time. It was just, I hated seeing them go. We're going to talk about our visit to Glen Ivy Hot Springs or Spa, and we're going to talk about what we did to my yard, and I'll show you some pictures. And then I ended up getting a new cell phone, and I might be telling you something that you don't know about on that new cell phone. Then I'm going to tell you about a new series that I'm going to start with. So hang on and watch it all the way through so you don't miss anything that I'm about to tell you. So the first thing we did, they came in on Friday night. We just hung around here, and we had to get up early on Saturday because it's an hour drive to where we were going in Glen Ivy. It was going to be my friend, her husband, me, my daughter, and my niece. We were all going to be there. So we were going to meet them there. And we got there as early as possible. We were probably like third in line. In case you've never been to one of these hot springs or spas or Glen Ivy, if you're not from Southern California, is filled with different pools, and the pools are all different. There's a sulfur pool, which smells like sulfur, but it's still one of my favorites. And there's a mineral pool, and there is a saltwater pool, and then there's the hot and cold plunge pools, which are the best. And we really enjoyed that. It's actually fun to sit there and watch the people go in that cold plunge pool. Now, according to the sign, it's 60 degrees to 66 degrees. But when you step into it, it feels like it's 32 degrees. It's so cold. And I can only tell you, if you've never been in one, you can't stop. You have to just keep going all the way until you are down to your neck in water or underwater, whichever way you want to do it. But people will go till it gets to about the middle of their calf, and then they're like, oh no, I'm not doing this. And they get out, and we laugh. It's humorous. They also have a mud bath where you go in there and there's a big pile of red clay, and you walk into this muddy water and then grab your clay and use the water to wet yourself down. And then you spread that clay all over you, and then you grab a hunk and get out and then do all your legs. And then you wait and you dry off. Once you're dry and cracking all over, then you take a towel, and they have towels everywhere in this place, and you rub it off. Try and get off as much of that red clay. What you're doing is exfoliating your skin. And then there are showers there that you have to go under and rinse everything off. I didn't do that good. I still have mud on my bathing suit. I think we have a picture. But if you get there early enough, they shape that red clay every day, and it was shaped in a star shape. And then we also had facials done. So we went and got our facials. I had a facial, and my friend and her husband had a couples massage. And when we got back, my niece and my daughter had their facials, and so they went in. And so by the time they were done, 45 minutes later, and came back out, we were hungry. We went to the restaurant. They have a really nice restaurant there. The food's delicious, a little pricey, but it is very good. We get done with Glen Ivy, and my daughter only lived about 5 minutes away from there. So we headed over to her house so my friends could see where she lives. And she said, hey, I have a cell phone, iPhone. I just bought the new one. And do you want my old one? And I said, yeah. And I guess it was a 15 Pro, so not too old. And I took that, and we stayed and visited with her for just about 15, 20 minutes. The next day, we got up, and I had mentioned that I'd like to get mulch for my yard since they brought their truck with them. So we went down to Lowe's. We lined 25 bags of mulch into his truck. I picked them up. I handed them to my friend. She handed it up to her husband, and he put it in the truck. So we didn't do too bad for 70-year-olds. So we did pretty good. And then we didn't stop. He went right to the front yard. It had a beautiful little landscape area there. And it has gotten out of control from all these trips and everything I went on. So he dug up a lot of them and trimmed down all the rest of them. And it looks so nice. He trimmed down a bunch of my bushes and my rose bush. And I went around and picked up all the branches and the ferns and everything that they were cutting up and chopping up so that they didn't have to worry about anything like that. I did all the running if they needed another tool because I had a miniature chainsaw like that Midlife Stockman has. I don't know if you watch his channel, but I love him. So I had one of those. So I got that for her husband to chop down the stuff that was growing in my yard. And I have a leaf blower. So my friend was going around with the leaf blower afterwards, getting all the little branches out and the leaves that had fallen from the trees off my yard. So we had a good time. And we went back in the backyard and he laid mulch and we just sat back there and had some espresso martini wine. It's by Zerotti, and it's sold at Aldi's. If you haven't tasted it, it is delicious. You have to sip it just like it's an espresso. It's very good. So keep that in mind. We'll enjoy that. They went to Lowe's again because he needed 2 more bags of mulch. And they came back with the 2 bags of mulch, 4 more solar lights that were beautiful because my other ones weren't always coming on at night. So they took them out of the ground and replaced them with these new ones that put this pretty light out. It's beautiful. And it just looks really nice. I'll have to take a picture of it at night to show you. Then they bought me that green grass turf type carpet, and they bought one that was big enough to fit my patio in the back, and so I could walk out there without putting shoes on. So we got all that done in the backyard. Everything looked beautiful. And they left on Monday. I went and got my phone activated. When you get a new phone, you have to put all your passwords and the whole works, and whether you want to do a face recognition, etc. And I worked on it all day on Tuesday. And then later on that night, I was texting actually my middle daughter. And this is the part that if you don't know about, you might be happy that I'm telling you this. She says, "What software do you have in there? What's the update on it?" And so I look and I said, "Well, it looks like I can update it to 18.7.1." And she said, "Look at the bottom of your screen." And I said, "Would you like to just go ahead and update to iOS 26?" She said, "Put that one on." She goes, "Because it changes your phone a lot, and there's no sense in you learning this phone and then going ahead and adding that on later and having to relearn it. So since you don't really know, you might as well put it on." I said, "Great idea." So I put it on my phone and it took about half an hour. And the lock screen's my favorite because you can stretch the time now. And I like to look at the time on my phone. And so now instead of this little phone clock, I can stretch it. Now it's about this big on my phone. So that's perfect for me. And then I added a couple more things to my lock screen. I added my battery power. So I always can look right there and see what my battery's at. I also added the weather, just what the degrees are outside at that moment. And you can put that on your lock screen now. So there is a lot of different things. You can even put a background on your text that you send to someone. So you can pick a background, picture, whatever. There's some unique things that you can do. So if you haven't done that yet, go ahead and update your iPhone to iOS 26. I think it's 26.01. So one more thing before we go, I am going to be working on a new series. It's going to be a 5-part series, and it's going to be for men and women because I think that men will be interested in it, in the fact that maybe it'll give them some more understanding about why we are the way we are, even though we can't even say why we are the way we are. But it'll give you an idea of it. And it's going to start from the early years, what happened when we were children, to our teen years. And then it goes to 20 to 30s, and then the 40s to 50s, and 60s to 70s. So there is going to be 5. The teen years is in there too. And I really tell a lot of what emotionally happens in each one of these phases of our lives. And I think it'll be nostalgic for a lot of us when you hear some of the things that are on there, that you'll remember and say, oh, I remember that happening or doing that. I also go through the difficult times that women have in their, especially their 20s to 30s. That's a difficult age. So I hope that you're going to enjoy those, and I'm looking forward to getting those all done for you. I love them. And if you hit subscribe now and notification button, then you'll know when they're going to come out. But I would appreciate you taking the time to watch them, and I appreciate you being here. And if you're new, thank you. I appreciate you coming, as well as all of you who keep watching me video after video. So make sure that you like and you subscribe, because you know how that helps. I know we really don't like to keep asking people to do it, but it's the only way for our videos to be put out there by YouTube. So that's why everybody always asks you to do that. So if you could do that for me, I'd appreciate it. And I'll see you on the next one when my series starts. Bye.